What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I wanted to talk about AMC because we have some important things to talk about. I know a lot of people are talking about this 500 million share dilution and how it's not being approved, but I think there's more that we need to look into this. And I'm trying to be as realistic as possible, so hopefully everybody doesn't hate me about talking about a lot of things. I just want to let people know about certain situations that may be happening as we go into the rest of the year. But we have a lot of things that we need to talk about and why the stock price is going down. We're going to go into the actual stock price and see what's happening in the day. Then we'll go into some of the detail that we need to look at when it comes to the FinTel numbers and some other news situations and news stories that we need to talk about. But before we get started in this, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Remember, if you want to join as a member, please hit that join link down below next to the subscribe button. You'll be able to join. And you can participate in the live chats every morning. So that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Let's start with the actual data here. We're going to look at what AMC has to offer, what they did today. We can look at the pre-market, start with the pre-market. We've seen that we did gap up a little bit after we fell in the after hours market. You see that we gapped up a little bit, really to that 1160 mark, to where it did decrease again, close to where it was at before the gap up, and it increased again back up to the 1160, 1163 mark, started to level out, even increasing to 1178, to where it did quickly decrease and started to fall down towards the end of the pre-market. Now when it got to the market open, we've seen that it did something that it doesn't normally do, which is increase really right from the start. Now we did see a little bit of a decrease, but not as much as we normally see. It did end up falling down, and you see the large candle wick as it did get down to $10.65, but we did see a little bit of a push up. As we went through the rest of the day, we've seen that we had a little bit of a push up here, and it really jumped up to that $11.39 mark, where we thought it was going to continue to rise. However, it was getting to a point to where it was going to be overbought, so it did decrease and started to level out a little bit more, started to slowly fall, slowly go down and down. Did catch a little bit of an increase right here to where it ended up decreasing a little bit more. So now we're starting to see towards the end of the day, it leveled out a little bit more. Are we seeing it decrease more after that? I thought we were going to see something recover. We didn't see anything recover. We're still seeing it drop down a little bit. Luckily, it's not as fast. It's only down, it's 5%, which can be significant, but 5% is way better than being down, 10%, or being below that 10.50 mark or $10 mark. Still being, or hovering around that $11 mark is okay. Obviously, we want it to increase a lot more. Just know that a squeeze is going to be something that happens fast. So all this slow movement is something completely different. So it's not the squeeze that we're seeing when it is having that slow increase. That's just a lot of buying power that we see. Also, less shorts that are going through, more buying power that's going through than shorts. Now, we did have a lot of volume in the first 30 minutes. I believe it was somewhere around the 10-minute mark, or 10 million share mark for the first 30 minutes. That's what I noticed when we were going through that. But you see, as it's getting towards the end of the day, it's starting to decrease down to the 1074 mark and continuing to drop. So I don't know where this will finish by the time you're watching this, but I would imagine it's going to probably hover somewhere around 1060. Let's see if we can recover because it's really dropping at the moment. We're seeing it make huge moves, down 6% right now as I'm recording this. So that sucks. That really does suck. Now, if we look at the overall volume, even though we've seen 10 million shares worth of volume in the beginning of the day, we've seen only 32 million shares right now as we get into this. Also, the average is around 128 million, so it's adjusted with all of those days that we've been seeing that have been pretty low, and we've also seen some pretty good days, or recent days, that have been high. So it opened at $10.90. It had a high of $11.39, which is not truly that high. We've seen it hit 12 yesterday, so right now it is on a downward spiral a little bit. And then the low was $10.65, where it's currently finding a way to decrease even lower than that. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we see something take off there. Now, I wanted to talk about the 500 million share dilution, because I know this is a huge piece. A lot of people like to talk about this. They're saying that the 500 million share dilution is big, and they were like, where should I vote? Should I vote yes? Should I vote no? Well, it doesn't even matter anymore because they're not going to be voting on that. Now, is there a hidden reason why they took it off the table? Is it something where he's like, all right, well, we need to, see our shareholders and see what they're saying, listen to them and make the decisions there? Well, I wanted to look into this and say, why would they take that off the table? Because it's always great to have that approved for something to happen later. Well, if you didn't know, Trey's Trades, Trey had an interview with Adam Aron, and he talked about how he was announcing that they would not, use any of those shares in 2021. Well, I'm not saying that this is kind of in line with that, but it makes it seem that way. Because as I get into some other information here, you can see that this article right here, and this may be something that's more of that FUD, but also not 100% proven, right? We do have some information that can show that this will be proven, but AMC plans to sell 43 million fresh shares, but calls off the plans for the 500 million. So does that mean that they were looking to add more shares this year, but now that they put that through the system saying that if this is approved, we would not use any of those shares in order to, dilute the stock? However, they're going to be adding 43 million more shares to the open market, basically allowing people to buy those 43 million more shares. So seeing that, that's another form of dilution. And I don't know if they're going to add that this year. I was trying to look through the article. I didn't see that. But it said it hopes to sell up to 43 million shares at the market offering. So they're looking to basically sell more, even though they said they weren't going to add any more this year. So it's kind of, I guess a tit for tat, flip flop on your situation. It's more or less looking at the 500 million and saying, all right, well, you know what? It's not a great decision not to offer these shares, but since we do have shares from the last time we approved any addition of shares, now we can add these shares to the mix. So it's definitely a different situation. This is kind of huge news as we go into this, because it may end up diluting the stock a little bit. And I didn't go through here and see if there was a true date to where we would see anything happen, but I've been going through just looking at for 43 million shares will be sold, were approved by shareholders years ago. So these are 43 million shares that they're going to be adding that are still active, so they haven't really made the decision yet. We need to raise some cash in the short term. Remember, we already have 43 million shares that are out there, and we were authorized in the year. So this is where I'm thinking, okay, since they already said we're not going to dilute the stock anymore, we're not going to add any more shares, this is what they were trying to add, so that's what I'm seeing it as. And let me know if you're seeing the same thing, because the way that I read it, it's we have the 500 million shares. We now say that we're not going to add any more shares this year. However, we have 43 million more shares that we want to add to the pot. If we were going to do something with the 500 million shares, we probably weren't going to add 43 million. We're probably going to add like a couple of million. However, we have 43 million to actually add to the pot. So which that will actually dilute the stock a little bit more. So let me know what you think about it, because I think this is kind of big news, unless I'm reading this the wrong way, unless I'm seeing this the wrong way. Let me know what you think about it. But before we actually get out of here, let's look at some of the Fintel data so that we can navigate through that. But the Fintel data, short volume, they're still shorting the position around 20%. If it was more than that, then I would obviously be worried. You typically want that to be around 10%. You're going to have short positions no matter what stock you're in, but it's around 9.7 million. And the market volume is around 51.5 million. You're seeing 1 million short shares available, and the short borrow fee rate is actually going down. It was at 26% last time I looked at it. Now it's at 19.04%. So anyways, let me know what you think about this, because 43 million fresh shares is what they're going to be adding to the pot. And this is some big news, in my opinion. And yeah, but make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos just like this one. I don't know when they're going to be adding it, so we need to continue to look into this. But right now, I think it's kind of interesting. So anyways, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to join the Discord group, the link is in the description. If you want to join channel memberships to be a part of the members only chats in the live streams every morning, then please do that. But I'm gonna get out of here and I'll catch you guys in the next video.